Dr. Karen Perkins here, and I am so glad you've joined me for another episode of KARENisms. And today we're going to continue working on some of the things in my book, Living a Positive Life. And you'll find in the comments, there's a way for you to get it as an ebook or as a book. And you can follow along with us or just go ahead and read it and find some great tips and hints in there. I gave it to a friend recently, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I love your stories in there, and it all makes sense, and it's so simple." And it's like, yeah, living a positive life is simple after you learn how to do it, and if you choose to do it. That being said, Jace, come on in, because you're somebody I know chooses to live a positive life.
I am. I
How?
always,
Go ahead. You
yeah.
do. You always do.
And, it's something that I will always do because I've already experienced all the negativities that everybody can, experience on their young life. Because I'm still young. I always believe I'm still young. So, yeah, choosing positivity now is the best thing that I can do for myself. So,
I love that. Yeah, I'm still young too. Actually, I am young comparatively speaking. My family, my people live typically into their hundreds. My mom is 92, and doctor said the other day, he said, "Oh, you're going to live forever." And she has a hard time walking, but other than that, she boy, a real go-getter. So I'm going to live for at least another 40 years. Get there. Well, 30 to be her age, but another 40, so I'll get into my hundreds too. So I'm still a youngin'. He's like,
We're all
"You
young.
talked about negative self-talk last week, Karen." I am young for my age. People say, "Well, how old are you?" And I say, "Well, it depends. If you ask my kids, I'm 12 years old mentally. If you Oh, so we have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So, did you have a great birthday last week?
I did. Last week was one of the most amazing things, not just because I had my birthday, but also because of the webinar. So I will always look forward for the webinars that you will do.
Yeah. And we're going to do them, I think, either the every second and fourth Tuesday or first and third. This month it's the second and fourth. But we're going to do 2 a month because they're fun and they're good webinars. So thank you for that pitch, Jace. That being said, I want to get into my big 3 secrets. Have I told you my big 3 secrets yet for depression?
Not yet. I'm looking
I've
forward
got
to it.
my it's secrets number 4 here is section 4, my 3 big secrets. I have secrets for kicking depression's butt. A lot of years ago, uh gosh, that just aged me. It's been 35, 40 years ago. I was so depressed, Jace. I had a hard time getting out of bed. I mean, it was just not good, not good at all. And I finally went to my doctor and I said, "I can't live like this, because if I'm going to live like this, quite frankly, I'm afraid I won't live." And the doctor said, "Will you be a guinea pig?" And I went, "Oh, any drug. I don't care what the side effects are. They got to be better than this, because this is just beyond miserable." And he said, "No, I don't want you to do any drugs." And this is where he told me the 3 big secrets that I do. And I do better some days than others. But right now in my life, I'm doing it every single day. So let's get into those 3 big secrets. Secret
Uh,
number one. Oh, he said, by the way, he said, you can't just do this once in a while or do it every day for 45 days and then stop. You've got to do it for the rest of your life. And I can attest to that because there are times I don't do it and I definitely feel a difference. So, what he said is, I want you to every day laugh. And I just looked at him and I said, are you freaking kidding me? If I had something to laugh about, I wouldn't be here today. And he said, Karen, find something to laugh about. Look up something, videos of kids laughing, whatever it is that makes you laugh. And I said, I'm not a laugher. And I said this a few weeks ago as we talked about laughing, and I'm not. Somebody tells me something hysterical, and I go, that was good. And I feel accomplished. I'm not a big laugher. And he said, that's all right, because smiling for 20 minutes in a row is equivalent to laughing for 5. And I said, I have nothing to smile about. And he said, fake it. He said, fake it, because he says the more you smile, the more it tells your brain that you're smiling, and the more your brain will react to that, and it changes the endorphins in your brain, and it will make things work better. It changes your genetics. Actually, that's been shown that your self-talk, positive self-talk, the things you think, the things you say, actually change you on a cellular level. On a cellular level. And, as your cells divide, and they divide, and every so often they go away, but as they divide, what happens is if you filled it with a lot of negative self talk and negative beliefs and negative thoughts, as they divide, you now have, instead of, the one cell, you've got 2 negative thoughts, and then you've got 4 negative thoughts, and then 5. But if you do the positive self talk, and if you smile and your brain says, oh, I'm happy, then what happens is the cell divides and now you've got more happiness flowing through your body. And, it's a phenomenon I don't fully understand, but you can look up the statistics online and find out how positivity actually changes your genetic makeup, and it changes the cellular structure as you're smiling. But I again said, hey, I'm not a smiler. And he said, just humor me and smile for 20 minutes a day. And I went, my kids went, oh, that's scary, Mom. But I did my best. And then he went to the next step, which now I smile with the next step. And he says, I want you to walk. And I just went, okay, at the time, I was 245 pounds. Now, I'm happy now. That's a fact. It's not negative self-talk. It's a fact. A lot of it's medical, and not to excuse it, but I'm heavy now, but I am nowhere near 245 pounds. So here I am, 5'1", huge. It was physically painful for me to go out walking. It was hard on my joints. But he said, do it anyway. He says, walk for 30 minutes a day. He said, leave your house, walk for 15 minutes, turn around and walk back. He says, but walk for 15 minutes a day. And I was like, oh, I can't do that much. And now it's like, nope, I got to get in my 3 to 5 miles no matter what every day, or I go crazy. I got to do it. But then half an hour, I might have gotten a mile, maybe, because I could hardly move. And the depression didn't help that any. So I go out walking and I was smiling, and my neighbors were all scared. But I did it every day. And I found that I started to smile without even realizing I was smiling. And I find I do that a lot now. I'll be just sitting there and I'll be smiling, and somebody will say, what? And I'm like, what? And they're like, what are you smirking about? And I'm like, I'm smirking? Well, you've got that grin on your face and there's nothing going on. So you're thinking something. And I'm like, no, just smiling. So I smile for 20 minutes a day. Well, It really does make a difference. So laughter, smiling, walking, a minimum of 30 minutes a day. The next big secret was drink. No, not alcohol. Drink cranberry juice, and it can be cran apple, cran cherry, cran grape, cran whatever. But drink cranberry juices. There is a chemical in cranberries that help balance the toxins and help with depression, help overcome depression. And I started drinking cranberry juice or taking cranberry pills. I still take cranberry pills because I just feel better when I do. And so I did this, and it took about 6 weeks before I started seeing the difference. It took about 3 weeks before other people started seeing the difference. Okay. So others saw it before I did. But I got to the point where my life wasn't so bad. And I knew my life wasn't bad. If I logicked it out, it was like, it's not that bad. Everything's fine. But I was just so depressed because of a few things that I couldn't pull myself out of it. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here. Not everybody is just depressed. Some people, it is a chemical imbalance. I have a chemical imbalance, and this helps my chemical imbalance, but I'm not suggesting it's something you should do alone for your chemical imbalance. Okay. If you need medication, take the medication and stay on it. I have friends that have chemical imbalances, and they'll get on the meds until they feel good and then think they don't need it anymore because I feel good now. And then they slip right back down into that state of manic or depressant or homicidal or suicidal or whatever. And so you don't want to get there. So do these 3 things every single day, but check with your doctor. And if you need to be medicated, check out and do the medications, find the right cocktail for you. And yes, I'm still medicated. It took us years to find the right cocktail for me, but I am wonderful, fully functioning. But I still do my 3 secrets a day. I still smile for a minimum of 20 minutes. I try to laugh for 5. But like I said, I'm not a big laugher. I'm happy and I find things funny, but I'm just not a big laugher. And when I get into that big laughing state, you're going to hear me snorting and my eyes watering, and it's actually quite humorous. But do smile for 20 minutes a day, and then walk for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. And if you only get a half a mile, great, but you got out and you moved and you walked. And you'll find as you continue to walk for half an hour a day that you'll walk further and further and further. And I liked my doctor's advice. He said, just leave your house and walk. You have the timer on, and when it hits 15 minutes, turn around and walk back the same way you came. And, then you've got your 30 minutes in. And I like that. That's a good one. And then drink cranberry juices. Cranberry juices are wonderful, and they will help you out. So those are my 3 big secrets. And we kept the show nice and short today, which is great. Jace, what do you think? You already do the smiling every day. Do you do the walking and cranberry juice? Is that what keeps you so happy?
I will be guilty with that and say that with me and my sister have been planning to go on a walk since last month when we were together in my mother's place. But until now, nothing's happening. So I am
I'm going to
guilty.
hold you accountable now. I'm going to say, did you go walking?
Yeah.
As I have to tell you all, Jace texts me in the morning, WhatsApps me actually in the morning while I'm out walking. And so I've got my button and I'm recording things for him or trying to type him in while I'm walking, and he just laughs at me. And he gets his 5 minutes of laughter in when I'm walking. I do my smiling, he does his laughter. But I do walk an hour or 2 a day. It depends upon the day. And I tell you what, I can tell the days I miss it. I can tell the days that I don't go out walking, and so can everybody else. So, that being said, what advice do you have for everybody else with those three big secrets?
Well, at least for me, at first it will always be hard to start. But if you just go with it and committed to it, you will just find yourself doing it every day, and your day will not be complete without you
Yeah,
doing the habits that you already built. So you just need
yeah.
to start it.
You know what Darwin does? You'll like this. He does his walking every single day, but often he'll just walk through the house, and he walks at a quick clip, but he turns on his timer for how long he wants to walk, and he just walks through the house. My mom wonders if he's okay or not. He's pacing. Why is he pacing? He's just doing his morning walk, Mom. He's walking. Or he'll go out and walk around the house. Me, I like to go on little trails and hikes and things, but so you can go walking anywhere. If it's raining outside, that's not an excuse to not walk. Just walk through your apartment, walk through your house, walk through, wherever you're at, and just get it in, even if it's only 10 minutes, but I say half an hour minimum. So,
I'll do that. I'll do that.
okay,
I'll always record myself from now that I'll say, Karen, I'm walking.
I'm walking, and I'll say, good for you. Good for you. Okay, so I want to remind you all, go on and get your book, Living a Positive Life One Moment at a Time. You can get an ebook, or you can get it the paperback copy, and we'll send it out to you. And you can just do that by going to my site /books, or just go to my site and click on shop, and you'll see all the wonderful things that are there. And don't forget to join us Wednesday for Karenisms, or not Karenism. Boy, that was bad. Join us Wednesday for Power Surge. We've got another great guest, and we're going to have a lot of fun with the Power Surge. I know you're going to enjoy it this week. And Power Surge, again, is every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then a week from Tuesday, we're going to have another a week from tomorrow, we're going to have another webinar. So we'll tell you a little bit more about that later in the week. That all being said, you guys are awesome. I love you. Ciao for now. Thank you for watching this episode of Karenisms. If you found anything interesting, entertaining, or useful, please be sure and hit the like button. Now, to find out more about me, my coaching, events, or even resources, go to drkarenperkins.com. Again, that's Dr. Dr. Karen, Karen, Perkins, Perkins.com. And if you haven't already, subscribe.